No Time to Die is the fifth and final film for Daniel Craig playing James Bond in his franchise. This film once again stars Daniel Craig for the final time as James Bond, Rami Malek, Leah Seydoux, Ana de Armas, Lashonda Lynch, Ray Fiennes, Ben Whishaw, Naomi Harris, Jeffrey Wright, and Christoph Waltz. And it's directed by Cary Fukunaga. The film stars James Bond, who is now officially retired after the events of Spectre, but his piece is short-lived as he's brought back into the action by an old friend, which leads him down a path of finding out a mysterious villain played by Rami Malek, who is armed with a dangerous new technology that will affect the entire world. The film is 2 hours and 43 minutes and is PG-13. Welcome back to a brand new review here on Max Talks Movies. We're talking about the highly anticipated No Time to Die. If you're new to the channel, please like the video, subscribe down below. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, streaming platform reviews, movie rankings, and I'll tell you about that at the end of the video as well. And box office breakdown show every single Monday. So subscribe, ring the bell, like the video. If you're also just watching it, really would help the channel out a lot with the algorithm so more people can check out these types of reviews. And also please comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts, first of all, as Daniel Craig, as James Bond. First of all, if you've seen No Time to Die, let me know your thoughts on the film. If you have not seen the film, let me know, how do you feel about Daniel Craig's Bond? So your favorite Bond, tell me your favorite Daniel Craig Bond film. Also, I'm gonna let you know, guys, tomorrow I'll be filming my review of my ranking of the 5 Daniel Craig Bond movies. I'm gonna rank all of them from 5 to 1. That will be tomorrow, including this film, No Time to Die. So please check that out. Tomorrow, let's talk about No Time to Die. So as I said, I am very excited. I have a lot more emotion to this character, and so does really my generation. Again, the first Casino Royale came out in 2006. And I was 4 years old. So I really have grown up with Daniel Craig as James Bond. He is my Bond. Now I've seen all the Bond movies. I've seen Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery. I've seen all of these other Bond movies, but for me, he is my Bond. So I have a lot more emotion. It was very surreal that this was kind of, this is the last Daniel Craig James Bond movie. And it's also interesting that, again, Casino Royale was directed by Martin Campbell. You have Quantum Solace, which is directed by Mark Forrester. And then you also have Skyfall and Spectre being directed by Sam Mendes. And Sam Mendes obviously got nominated for directing 1917. So this time they go to Cary Fukunaga, who's obviously a highly acclaimed director, Beasts of No Nation. He also directed a limited series on Netflix called Maniac that I also watched. So this guy, he's directed True Detective. He's a pretty big deal in Hollywood. So the fact that he got this movie, Hans Zimmer's doing the score. And first of all, I want to say this first of all, if you have not seen a Daniel Craig Bond movie, this is the first Bond movie I really can think of where they really do connect to the entire franchise. This film connects all the way back to the first movie. As I said, Jeffrey Wright's character, Felix, is back from the original film. And they also hint at a lot of other characters from the first film. Leah Seydoux is, I think, the only female Bond, I guess, or the female love interest of Bond who is back, and she has a much bigger role than she did in Spectre. Ray Fiennes as M, Ben Whishaw as Q, Naomi Harris as Moneypenny. They've been out throughout the entire franchise. They're all back as well. And Christoph Waltz is also back from Spectre. So I would say this, if you haven't seen those movies, you're going to walk in just to see a fun action movie. I think you'll get that, but you won't be as emotional to the story if you haven't seen all of his Bond movies. Let's talk about this film. One of my biggest worry with the movie really heading in was it was 2 hours and 45 minutes. And I was excited because more time to see Daniel Craig on screen. I was kind of worried because there were just a lot of characters that are in this movie. I mean, a lot of characters, not just from new characters in this movie, obviously a new villain that you have to set up, but characters from old movies, characters who are now in the franchise, who haven't been established yet in the franchise. So a lot was riding on the film, a new director, but I knew they would put in this. And I just want to say this, first of all, let's start off with my biggest positive, and that is that I genuinely love this movie. I love this movie from start to finish. I can't believe how amazing that it is. It's a huge feat for a 2 hour, 40-minute movie to fly by as this flew by. I was locked in the entire runtime. There was no lull. I was perfectly into every single scene throughout the entire film. And let's say I'm not going to actually spoil my ranking or where I feel about it. Obviously, I think Casino Royale and Skyfall, the odd number Bond movies, are the ones that are much better than the even number, Quantum Solace and Spectre. and I don't even hate Spectre as much as some people do. I really did have a fun enough time with Spectre. I think it's a fine Bond movie, but this is a whole other level for me. I really love this movie. Daniel Craig is so good as Bond. It is very sad that this is obviously the last Bond movie he's doing. Obviously, they're going to do a new Bond very soon. And I think in the post credits, it says James Bond will return. So they're obviously going to do more, but obviously won't be with Daniel Craig. So that is very sad. But this is I really forgot how much I love his entire 5-film franchise, because you care about everyone. Léa Seydoux, who is Madeline, she was the love interest in Spectre. She's now not just a love interest to Bond. She has a main integral story. And really, the whole reason why this movie is happening is because a decision or secrets that she is keeping from Bond. She has a past that she has not told Bond yet. And that's the whole really theme of the movie, the No Time to Die. How do you move on from the past? That's why I keep saying that you have to watch the other films, because James Bond is trying to move on from a lot of different things and people than the last couple of films. And Léa Seydoux has not told, Madeline has not told James her secrets. And that is where Rami Malek's villain character is entered. He has a past when Léa Seydoux was a kid, not gonna say what happened there, but then he is brought in and she knows everything that's going on and he doesn't. It's kind of the first time Bond is kind of on the back burner of what's going on. Yes, he's retired, but because it's involving obviously his love of his life, it feels weird for Bond to be this much on the back burner of what's going on, not really knowing what's going on. M also, Ralph Fiennes has probably his biggest character to do. He has the most to do out of all the Bond films. His character is essential to what the villain is doing. And I thought Ralph Fiennes is really good in this movie, and his dynamic with Daniel Craig is intense. But I do want to say too, Léa Seydoux is fantastic in this movie. She does a great job of her performance is so great because you can feel that she loves James so much, but she also has so many secrets that she just doesn't want to tell her. It's a really dark past that gets explored with some flashback scenes. But her and Daniel Craig have great chemistry. You do really feel like that she is James's true love. Out of all these films, he's had a lot of different love interests, most notably Eva Green's character from Casino Royale, but they have great chemistry together, as does Moneypenny and Q and all of those people. They're all great together. It was so great to see Jeffrey Wright back in this movie. Him and Daniel Craig, you can already feel their friendship back from the first movie. It's really, really fantastic. Now, a big thing that everyone's asking about is how is Rami Malek, because it's amazing how big of a deal Bond villains are. And they really do determine most of the time a movie is going to be good in this franchise, because you had Mads Mikkelsen, who was really fantastic in Casino Royale. Quantum of Solace is a really forgettable film. Then you had Skyfall with Javier Bardem, and then Christoph Waltz was a bit of an underwhelming villain who he didn't really seem like a big threat to James. But Rami Malek does feel like a threat. Now, I'll say this, guys, if you're going to see this movie just for Rami Malek, I was actually kind of shocked on how much he's not in the movie. You maybe see his face once in the first hour and a half of the movie, which was kind of shocking as well. You do feel his presence, and he is a legitimate threat to Madeline and James throughout the entire film. You just don't see him a lot, which I actually didn't mind. Now, when he's on screen, he really does capture the screen, and he is really captivating to watch, not just his bruises, but the way he talks. And his motive is clear. You absolutely understand why Rami Malek's character connects to Madeline's backstory, why he's going after James Bond, and his overall plan with this technology that I don't want to talk about. You get from start to finish where the villain is coming from. That's a huge thing. He's not just in there to blow up the world, just to blow up the world. He has a really intense personal reason why he's doing this and why he needs these people there to witness him doing it. And he's a really intense villain. Every time he's on screen, the movie gets really tense. And he's really great in the movie. Now, Ana de Armas is in like one sequence in the film. She's great in the one sequence she's in, but I was actually shocked that she really wasn't in the movie at all. She's in like a 10-minute fight scene in Santiago, and other than that, she's done for the rest of the movie. When she's on screen, she's great. Lashonda Lynch is also fantastic in the movie. She plays a new 00 who has replaced James since James has left the 00 program. She's really fun as well in the movie, and she's a badass. But the film just has a really great emotional plot. It's a really personal film for James. And I'm kind of shocked because the trailers don't spoil anything with this movie. Now they show a lot of course, scenes that you'll see in the movie, but the actual story, I couldn't believe how much they didn't show in the trailer. That's why I had to look up the plot on IMDb so I don't spoil anything to you, because there's a reason why it's this personal to James, and the awkwardness of a lot of his conversations and how everything's unfolding is because something happens in the first act of the movie that I don't even want to talk about it. The fact that they don't talk about it in the trailer was a huge win, because the movie has a lot of twists and turns that I don't think a lot of people will see coming. Now, I think a lot of people also will be talking about the ending of the movie. I think some people will call it controversial. I don't think it's controversial at all. I thought it fit the story perfectly, but I really am interested to see. I'm seeing it on Thursday night, so most fans haven't seen it yet. So I'm really going to be interested this weekend to see what people think of the ending. I think the ending is so fantastic, and it was a great swan song for James Bond. It was for Daniel Craig playing James Bond. It was a beautiful swan song at the ending of the movie. But overall, I really did love this movie. I'll go to my nitpicks. I mean, really quickly before I give you my score. I guess my only real nitpick is that at times it just feels like if Madeline just had one conversation with James, maybe the movie wouldn't be happening. And as I said, I wish Rami Malek was in the movie a little bit more. There's sometimes too many sequences where he's just not in the movie at all and not a presence. As I said, you can kind of feel him out throughout the entire movie. The movie gets way more intense when he's on screen. So I would have liked a little more screen time. And I thought there could have been a little more development on why M made a decision that also sets up the entire movie. They don't really go into that as much. And it feels like a movie trope in these types of movies, how M wanted to create this thing, and obviously he goes into wrong hands and stuff happens. So I want a more development on how James took M back so fast, especially what the consequences are for what M does in the movie. But overall, I loved this movie. I'm going to sleep on it on my ranking. That's why I'm not going to give you my ranking and tell you, is this my favorite Bond movie? Is this my favorite Daniel Craig Bond movie? I am such a Casino Royale fan. I love Skyfall. I can't wait to see where this fits on my list. It's definitely better though than Spectre and Quantum Souls. But again, I loved how this movie connected to all 5 films. It really gave you, it was kind of the first non-superhero franchise where it says, thanks for watching all 4 previous films. We're going to do an epic conclusion. This film is epic, a really beautiful score from Hans Zimmer that is really fantastic throughout the entire film. I can't believe 2 hours and 40 minutes really flew by like that. That's a real testament to the writers. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who's obviously from Fleabag, she also has a writing credit on the movie. All the writers did such a great job, and Daniel Craig for me is still the Bond. I mean, him and Sean Connery for me are clearly the top 2 Bonds out there. It's sad that this is it, but I'm going to give No Time to Die a 4.5 out of 5. I'm going to give this movie a 95%. I really love this movie from start to finish. I'm really happy with this film. I can't wait to see how I rank it. I think actually I'll go down to 94%. So 95% is really strong. I'm going to go 94% on No Time to Die. Really happy with this movie. I can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. First of all, if you've seen No Time to Die already, let me know your thoughts on the film. If you haven't, tell me, did I just get you really excited for this film? Like the video, subscribe. As I said, tomorrow will be my ranking of all 5 Daniel Craig Bond movies. Can't wait to rank those. Tomorrow, that will include No Time to Die. And then we'll see how No Time to Die does at the box office on Monday here domestically. So that's my thoughts on No Time to Die. I'll see you guys soon.